Is election denialism unique? No. In 2004, Barbara Boxer and some 30 House representatives tried to stop the certification of Ohio, which George W. Bush clearly won. I don't know if that was symbolic because that had no chance of succeeding. But had they succeeded and had a majority vote in the House, she was a senator that was helping them, the election would have been suspended. In 2016, after the election in which Donald Trump won the Electoral College but lost the popular vote, Jill Stein, a third-party candidate, said the election was invalid. And that was because she alleged that computers in Ohio, and I think Pennsylvania, were fraudulent. And she sued. People have reported, I don't know if it's confirmed, with the encouragement of the losing candidate, Hillary Clinton. That was thrown out, but that was an attempt to stop the election. But more importantly, in that interregnum between the election and the December certification of the House of the vote, almost nightly, Hollywood actors went on television and they appealed to the electors who were constitutionally bound to reflect the majority vote in their state, not the national vote. They made a direct appeal to be what we call falsified or false electors. In other words, there were direct appeals: do not, in these key swing states, vote to reflect the popular vote. After they failed to do so and Donald Trump was declared the winner, we had major figures on the Democratic side say that he was not legitimately elected. He was fraudulently elected due to Russian collusion. Who were those people? I'll just give you three names. The House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, said he was illegitimate. Hillary Clinton said he was illegitimate. Former President Jimmy Carter said not only was he illegitimate, but he was elected through Russian agency, which was demonstrably proved false by Special Prosecutor Robert Mueller. And I could even end on Stacey Abrams, who became an iconic figure in the Democratic Party after she lost the Georgia gubernatorial race by 50,000 votes. And she was introduced at major Democratic events as the real governor of Georgia, and she alleged voting fraud. So was January 6th an unfortunate event? I think it was. I think it was a buffoonish riot. In terms of magnitude and deaths, contrary to what the left said, Joe Biden said 5 police officers were killed. That was not true. 5 police officers died after the event, sometimes over a year, through suicide. In one case, Officer Sicknick had a stroke. There was only one violently killed person. That was Ashley Babbitt, a 14-year military veteran who committed a misdemeanor by going through a previously broken window into the Capitol, in which she was lethally shot by Officers Byrd, whose identification was suppressed for almost 3 months. In addition to that, if you juxtapose the 2021 riot with the prior summer riot, I'm talking about May, June, July, August, September of 2020, when the BLM and Antifa riots following the death of George Floyd overwhelmed law enforcement. If you look at the final toll, there were 35 people killed, 14,000 people arrested, $2 billion in property damage. And in addition to that, there was an effort to storm the White House grounds that sent the President of the United States into a bunker. There was the burning of a federal courthouse. There was a burning of a police precinct. And there was a burning of a historic church, the St. John's Episcopal Church. Of that protest, Kamala Harris said, at the height of the Washington violence, she said of these protests, and I know fact checkers said that she was referring to protests, not the violence, but it was indistinguishable to people on television. They had been synonymous. These will not stop. They should not stop. This is a movement. This is going to go on to Election Day. This is going to go on after. In addition to that, earlier she had posted a tweet giving references how people, with urging on her part, could bail out violent offenders that were arrested in the Minnesota riots, arson, and demonstration. So in the context of all of that, was what Donald Trump did unfortunate? Yes. Was it a full-fledged insurrection? No. In terms of violence, did it rank with left-wing prompted demonstrations? And was it an effort to use extra legal means to interrupt an election? It may have been, but it failed. Were these 5 suits that I just talked about, had they had historical precedence? No. Was the aim of them to interfere with an election as we see now? Yes, it was.